Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I'm going to talk to you tonight about why it's important to understand your hormone cycle. Yes. Not enough people understand what this is, why it's important, and why you should really track and pay attention to what's happening. Over the next week, I'm going to break some more specifics down. Sorry, this light is bothering me. Okay, that's better. I'm going to break it down into more specifics of what to look for, meaning, oh my gosh, my cycle's irregular, I don't ovulate, I'm not sure if I do, what's happening, my cycle's longer or shorter, or what the heck, right? We'll talk about all of that over the next week or so. So stay tuned for a lot of those videos and a lot of that info, because again, none of us know enough about our body physiology to really understand how to take advantage of a lot of these things. But when we're looking at understanding your hormone cycle, here are some important pieces of why it's essential to start tracking and taking advantage of the differences of hormone throughout the month. A lot of women just kind of live their life, right? Like you had that one class in 5th grade, that one day, it's one day in 5th grade where you're sort of given some information and then you're given like some pamphlets. And then that's it. And no one talks about it. And then otherwise, what information do you have about your body? Again, not a lot. Maybe you watch tampon commercials or something, right? Maybe there's something in a movie, right? Or maybe you have like a friend's older sister that you can ask questions to. But other than that, there's typically not a lot of actual helpful information for women out there in terms of what's going on in their body, and then why you should pay attention to this. Most of the time when I do talks and I speak extensively, I have a really fun event coming up that is on, that's going to be on Saturday. It's in the Twin Cities. I'm going to post in my Instagram stories a swipe up to get tickets to it, where I'm going to be diving into the hormone cycle and specifically performance and what to do about that, and specific things to take at specific times to increase all the performance that you're looking for. It's going to be super exciting. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack for a minute. But when I do talks, I always have to spend time introducing this topic and explaining what this is, because we're not told about it, right? Explaining how this works, and then explaining, hey, this is why this is important. This is why it's important that you at least know where your body's at, or have an estimate, that you track your cycle, right? It's not just about, oh crap, I got caught off guard and I ruined my underwears today. No, it's way more than that. It's more about, it has to do with weight loss, weight gain, performance, muscle building. When is that? When's your energy the best? When is it not the best? And then how to navigate that. How to shift things throughout the month so that you're like, oh my God, yes, I can do these things at this time when I just don't have as much natural energy. Yes, you can. Sleep. How is your sleep different? And how can you enhance your sleep so that you keep getting consistent good sleep? And stress. How your body reacts to stress. How to enhance your body's reaction to stress so that your body doesn't get stressed out and then take it and run with it, and you're like, oh crap, there goes the stress. Now I can just feel myself getting worn out and drained and gaining 10 pounds overnight. Right? I mean, we all have these same things that we struggle with. And when you get a handle on what your body's doing and when, you understand, oh my gosh, yes, okay, here's where I'm at. I can do these things here to make sure my body is performing at its best and I feel my best. And you don't feel like you're totally different all the time, or that your body's like fighting against you, right? That's one of the biggest things, realizing that throughout the month in general. And I am going to be diving into, like I said, specifics on the cycle, how it's longer or shorter, so stay tuned for all that info. But essentially, when you're looking at your month, right, when you're looking at how your body changes, and again, this is an estimate, but when we're looking at this, we're looking at the body being split into 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so about 4 weeks. Look how different your body is in each week. It has a different focus, it has a different job. Your body is different. You have 4 different bodies throughout the month. Yeah, four different bodies throughout the month. So of course, in 1 week, going for a run or getting stressed out or all of these things is going to feel totally different than in another week. And it's not that you did anything wrong, right? It's not that you screwed things up. It's not that, you fell off the wagon on this, right? You might feel great. Your stomach might feel great eating a salad and eating like a lot of different foods here versus here. You try and eat a salad here and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm having heartburn. I'm having bubble guts. I feel bloated all of a sudden. I just had salad. What the heck? Yeah, because your digestive system doesn't work as well here. Yeah. So not that you're doing bad things, it's just your system is different there. And so when women learn, oh my gosh, I can shift this and this, and here we go. This is so much better. This is so much easier to get where I'm going and feel like I'm doing the right thing. So I encourage you, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If you need help navigating, please don't hesitate on asking, for help here. I do have a lot of resources available for women, and I want to dive into these things for just a moment, but I want to let you know about a lot of resources that I have available for women, because this is a lot of info, right? And for those of you that, if this is one of the first times you're hearing this and you might feel like, what? Where do I start? What do I do? What? Don't worry. I have a YouTube channel, which is just Dr. Beth Westie. If you go to YouTube and type in Dr. Beth Westie, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and then search for tons of stuff on nutrition and hormones and what to eat and when, and fertility and menopause and endometriosis and all these things, right? I have a ton of videos on there because I really believe in providing women with resources. I have a podcast, which is the Female Health Solution. A lot of great stuff there too. A lot of logistics and information, as well as just some fun stories where you get to know me a little bit better. Like in my Instagram stories today, I talked about how my husband almost caused an accident with a cart at Costco because he was staring at a cute baby. He loves babies. Anyway, but so my podcast does have a lot of really great info and you get to know me better. Other resources, I have a book, The Female Fat Solution and The Female Menopause Solution, both on Amazon, both great resources for you to use to really look at, implementing some of these things. But the reasons why you need to understand your hormone cycle and know where you're at, I can't tell you how many women I talk to that they're like, I have no idea. I have PCOS, so my period's really irregular and it's all over the place. And who knows what's happening when? Sometimes I feel great in my body and sometimes I feel like my body's betraying me. Right? It gets to be frustrating and defeating. And so sometimes you just sort of give up, right? I totally understand, but I encourage you to start paying attention, to start listening to what your body's telling you, signs, symptoms, signals of all kinds. It's really important to understand where you're at and what your system needs to be the healthiest you at all times. Because again, the healthiest you changes throughout the month. What your system needs changes throughout the month. So in terms of weight loss, some of the things that I talk about are the warming and the cooling foods that match with estrogen and progesterone to take advantage of how estrogen burns carbs and progesterone burns fat. And that system shifts throughout the month. Yes. When we talk about performance, a lot of times it's about fueling your body consistently with what it needs. Oh, did you know that in progesterone, you need more protein, you need more nutrients, you need more electrolytes. If you're not getting it, it's going to be way tougher to get through workouts here because for performance, your system just doesn't have the same natural energy here as it does over here. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Energy, same thing. Less energy here naturally, more energy here. Does that mean that, oh shoot, I guess I just shouldn't do things there? No, but it's going to help you kind of not only plan your meals and workouts and everything else, but sort of life things, right? If you have a big project coming up, oh my gosh. So it's fall. I live in Minneapolis. It's fall. It's going to be time very soon to get out the winter stuff. Sorry, I don't want it. I'm not ready for snow, but it's Minnesota, so snow happens sooner than later. Okay, I'm fine. It's okay. Self-soothing right now about snow. But we're gonna have to get out all the winter stuff. And I have 3 kids. And I know that last year when we bought all the boots and we got all the winter boots, that I was like, oh, these are for sure gonna fit for at least 2 years. I know it always happens that I have to buy all new boots because my kids grow way faster than I estimate them growing. So you can see how like stressed out I'm getting right now about all of this, but all the energy it's gonna take to do this whole turnover and get out all the winter stuff and make sure all the kids have all the things that they need. That's gonna take a lot of energy. I'm not gonna do it over here. I'm not gonna do it when my, cycle is here. Yes, my husband is a wonderful man, and yes, he helps out and does a lot of things around the house. In terms of making sure everybody has the right mittens and that my youngest has the earmuffs that she wants, he's not gonna care. He's gonna be like, we got lots of hats, and that's not, right? So I do it. So fine. So I'm not like a single parent or anything, but the energy it takes for me to do that, I'm not gonna plan it here. I'm gonna plan it about right here. That's what I noticed. I feel like, yeah, I'll be able to finish that task really, really fast and get it done, right? But I have the luxury of planning that in my schedule when it works. Again, as long as it doesn't snow too early. Heather's saying same here in New Hampshire, freezing today. Oh, yeah, New Hampshire. Yes. We lived in Vermont for just over a few years ago. So it's very cold there. And I know that, and they're predicting another super cold winter. Maybe that's why I'm crabby about it. I don't know. Anyway. So energy, with some of these other projects or other things, understanding not only week to week or your daily life and what that needs, but also just other things that you have to do, right? Because women, we're in charge of stuff. We are the drivers on stuff. We take charge on a lot of different projects and things, right? And if you can think about, oh my gosh, if I do this here, I'm gonna run out of energy. It's probably gonna make me crabbier sooner than later. I'll just wait a week and get the winter stuff out here. Way better experience for everybody involved. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's my example there. Sleep changes throughout the month. Your body's ability to get to and maintain deep sleep shifts and changes estrogen versus progesterone. Yes, progesterone does not like sleep as much. It's more likely you will have disrupted sleep, less deep sleep, less sleep cycles, all of that stuff here versus here. And that's something that if you're not tracking, you should. Sleep and recovery is huge. And then again, the stress. So how your system and body responds to stress, way better here, not so great there. But again, as long as you know that, oh my gosh, I have a really stressful presentation coming up for work. And it's at this point in my cycle, so I know that I have it. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure I get extra proteins. I'm gonna make sure I use adaptogens and all these other things so that, holy cow, my system is just jam-packed with this so that I can, manage my stress as much as possible on the front end of it, right? Versus being like, oh, I feel like I got run over by a truck today. Oh, I don't know what's happening. I don't understand. Right? Yeah. I automatically take twice as many adaptogens here. Because life. Right? I always say this to the people that I work with in the 12-week challenge, which is that, a meal plan, grocery list, and I tailor things for women one-on-one and work with women one-on-one. And I always say, yes, this is all a plan. This is all, laid out there and everything. I'm a realist though. I get it that, like life just happens. I get it. I have 3 kids. I always think, oh, this is how today is gonna go. And then you're like, oh no. Oh, it's not going like that at all. Oh, that's kind of interesting. That's super. So, yes. Yes. Tiffany says, I noticed I got older, my stress during the 14 to 18 days, you get super stressed and it causes heart flutters. Yes. Your blood volume changes, your, not blood pressure, heart rate changes, and how your body responds to heat changes. All this stuff changes here. Very, very, very important. And it can increase heart palpitations if you are somebody that has a rhythm abnormality. It can be a tiny abnormality, right? I actually have a heart rhythm abnormality. I have a slightly irregular heartbeat. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter, right? Like, I'm fine. I'm healthy, right? I'm an athlete. It's fine. But when I was pregnant, I would get pregnancy heart murmurs. And I have small heart palpitations when I'm in my progesterone phase as well. Crazy, right? But it's one of those things, if I'm not aware or like thinking about it, that could freak you out, right? And be like, am I okay? What's happening? I'm fine. It's just, it's just progesterone. It's not a big deal. Yes. Christina, this explains so much. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. Oh, I'm in week 4. Megan's saying, in week 4 now, this is so helpful. Good. Yes, 2 servings of your adaptogens in week 3 and 4 at least. Whoo! Yes. And that's still not an exact formula, right? Like, a lot of times my goal is just to educate women here so that you can listen to your body and understand what your system needs and realize, oh my gosh, I'm in progesterone phase. This is what I typically do. But holy cow, I've had this huge stressful thing happen. And now I'm having a lot more stress. What do I do? Well, you might need a little bit more for that day or two. That's okay. Listen to what your system needs so that you can move through transitions of life and events much, much better without the struggle and without feeling lost, essentially. Let's see. Do you start your count for day 1 on the first day of spotting or the following day when you first? Oh, Christina's asking a great question. Yeah, so I'm going to dive into all things period, cycle, everything in the next couple of days. And some more specifics on what that is. My information on the female hormone cycle and everything else is going to be, and I like to talk about this just so you guys understand how I discuss it and educate on it, is twofold. One, it is the medical scientific background, but also the Eastern medicine background of it, because I'm trained in acupuncture and Chinese medicine, specializing in fertility and hormone issues for women. So when we talk about spotting, and when we talk about your cycle stopping for a day, then starting again, right? We're going to be talking about how well your liver is processing. We're going to be talking about how well your digestive system is working. And we're going to be talking about your stress levels and how well your body is processing that stuff. Because there's huge, huge signs that your body is having issues with some of these things. Because typically, day 1 is, in answer to your question, day 1 is the first day of full bleeding. Like, it says, like, it's not just spotting, it's not like a little bit, or like, oh, when I go to the bathroom and wipe, there's like a little bit of blood there, a little bit, right? No, day 1 is like, it's day 1. It's day 1, right? Before that, if your body is spotting a little bit or something, I mean, we'll say it can be normal, but that also means your system is having a harder time transitioning some of those hormones. So again, we'll get into some of that stuff over the next couple of days. So stay tuned. And I tell you this just in case you are, busy, or you're like, oh, I have a full day tomorrow. I don't know that I can catch your live video. That's totally fine. Remember, they all get uploaded to YouTube, so you can catch any replays there that you miss instead of trying to scroll through lots of things. But that's going to be a big thing, is understanding more about what your cycle is, when it is, and when to recognize problems. Because that's another thing women don't realize. And I had that too. When I had a horrible ovarian cysts that would burst and put me on the floor because they were so painful. They were just like, oh, yeah, that happens. That sucks. Here's your Vicodin and here's your birth control. See you later. That's what fuels what I do. Like, all of the information that I put out there for women, all of the stuff that I talk about, it's like secretly fueled by rage that women need more answers. We deserve to know more about what is happening with our bodies and be given better choices about paths to take for our health and where we want to take our health. Okay, so that's what I got for you guys today. Understanding why it's important to know your hormonal cycle and all of these different things that are impacted. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, I'm not even talking about any hormonal issues here. That doesn't include any PCOS or endometriosis or fibroids or perimenopause or fertility or all these other things that I help women with. This is, basic stuff that, most women try and work with. So Anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. Please let me know if you have any questions or help or you like anything else. Again, I have a ton of resources out there for you. But again, a lot of good info coming this week. If you are in the Twin Cities, over the next, on Saturday, I am speaking at an amazing event. So there is that too. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in. And if you found this helpful, please share it with somebody that you know so that other women can get this information too. That is how this information is going to get out there. Women sharing it with women. All right. Have a great rest of your night.